For nearly 50 years, people have marveled at tunnel vision, a surprisingly realistic 3-story mural in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. This spring, Carolinian met up with artist and alumnus Blue Sky, the man behind the mural, to shoot our latest cover. While we were discussing his work, Sky was inspired to revisit his masterpiece. Blue Sky began tunnel vision in 1974. The idea came to Sky in a dream.
I woke up and I went in a dining room and on an envelope with a ballpoint pen, I sketched out basically that, what you see there. I was thinking, jagged rocks, and then a period of transition, a period of darkness in there, and then on the other side, a real bright and glorious kind of beautiful place, like heaven, heaven.
Tunnel vision took almost a year to paint and was finally completed in 1975. Over the next half-century, Sky revisited the mural every 10 years to brighten the colors or add new elements. This spring, at age 85, he was back at it.
I really love working on this mural. It's such a challenge, and it's just, I can't think of anything I'd rather be doing. I'm not getting paid. Nobody's paying me. I got to have complete freedom, and the only way you can have complete freedom is just like the very first time, free. It was done free.
This time around, Sky had the benefit of a cherry picker donated by Hood Construction. In 1974, he had to engineer an elaborate homemade pulley system he called the Sky Car.
I had a stack of bricks, and the stack of bricks were on a threaded rod, and I got the stack of bricks so it weighed exactly as much as I and 3 or 4 cans of paint weighed. So the bricks weighed exactly as much as I did. Put them over a pulley at the top of the wall, and you could raise the bricks like that, or you could raise me like that. I could go up, I could go down, and that's the way I did it. And at the top of the wall, I built this thing that rolls. It had 6 wheels on it, and it rolled on top of the parapet wall, and now I could just move it across the wall to whichever part I wanted to work. Very Leonardo da Vinci kind of machine, really.
But there was more to engineer than weights and pulleys. He had to grid the image, then work out the proportions to make the painting look realistic from a distance.
As close as I'm working to this thing, it's almost like doing an abstract painting. I mean, I try to make the shapes concise and clean and clear. It doesn't look like anything when I'm up there doing it up close. It just looks like a color field that I've divided off. But I'm sure glad it doesn't look as bad from here as it did up close.
Every time Sky revisits the mural, he changes it a little bit to reflect his mood and his evolving aesthetic.
I'm actually carving the picture. I'm carving it, just like a sculptor. Like when I want to make a gash, I use the darks. The darks cut back into it. When I want to build it out, I use a lighter color in it, and it pulls out.
Visitors marvel at the optical illusion, but what does the image mean to the artist?
It's supposed to be a metaphor for passing from the life into heaven. It says so up at the top. You can't read it. It says it up there. This was a quote from some religious book that I read. It might have been the Bible. It said, from the unreal, lead us to the real. From the darkness, lead us to the light. And from death, lead us to immortality. See, so the tunnel is leading to immortality. It does as good as Sistine Chapel, you know what I mean?
People stop by to talk to Sky while he works, or even to pose for a selfie, and Sky enjoys every chance to see people delight in his creation. But his own favorite memory dates back to the mid-1970s, when he was close to completing the work.
Yeah, I think it's the day that I was out there painting. And I looked over and I saw my mother and father out there in the car watching. And they waved and I waved back. And my mother was very elderly at that time, and it really meant a lot to her.
And the best time of day to experience tunnel vision?
Right before dark, at dusk, during dusk. It looks its best. When the lights are coming on, when the lights first come on, and there's still some twilight, blue and purple. And that's the best time.
The best time for Sky is when he's up close to the wall, revisiting his masterpiece. And while he only has that opportunity about once every decade, he hasn't ruled out another coat of paint.
If I do it 10 years from now, I would be 95 years old, and I don't know if I'm going to be doing it again in 10 years. I think so. I'm shooting, I don't see why not.